He'd finally admitted to himself the truth of what Brigadier Gubbins and the boys back at Special Operations Executive had told him. This was a suicide mission. Up until that moment, the captain of the Scottish Guard had been deluding himself into thinking it would be a walk in the park. All he had to do was jump out of an airplane into the heart of the Hun Empire, meet up with a ragtag group of Czech rebels, and assassinate SS Obergruppenführer Reinhard Heydrich, Reichsprotector of Bohemia and Moravia, one of the most powerful men in all Nazi Germany, a man known more often as the Butcher of Prague. "Shouldn't we wait for the men?" "My dear Klein," yawned Heydrich in half-feigned ennui from his reclined position in the back of the powerful Austrian-made automobile. "We are lions amongst lambs here." Reinhard Heydrich had survived many attempts on his life by the mongrel lackeys of the former Czech leadership, by the Jews and the English, and even by those of his own Nazi party who feared his rapidly growing power base. "Bring me the men who tried to kill me, Sergeant." "Yes, Obergruppenführer, we will find them." His Owen gun bounced to a stop in front of one of the largest men Ian McAndrew had ever seen. McAndrew's one thought as his eyes travelled up the monstrous frame above him, from the hard leather boots that halted his gun to the shock of fine white hair that bounced around the sun-silhouetted head well over 6.5 feet above the ground, was that no living man stood before him. The illusion was broken as the giant bent down to pick up the fallen weapon at his feet with hands large enough to palm a human head, making the gun look like a child's toy in its grasp. All thoughts of flight vanished from the old soldier's mind as he allowed his men to pull him to his feet. For a moment they all stood shock-still, riveted in the wonder posed before them. The man, whose height McAndrew re-evaluated at 6'8" or more, was pale to almost translucence, and massive beyond comprehension, covered in muscles that had more in common with expertly chiseled marble than with flesh and blood.
"It is no matter. Reinhard Heydrich must die tonight. Now is the time."
The normally cool demeanor of Grimm had begun to crack with pent-up rage. "I don't completely understand what's going on here, lad," said McAndrew thoughtfully, "but I do know that if Himmler is on his way here to Prague, then we should wait and try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. "Heil Hitler!" exclaimed the youth. It took precisely 2 words for Himmler to realize he despised the immaculately groomed soldier. "What is it, Private?" asked Himmler. "Hauptsturmführer Hagen has been waiting for your arrival, Herr Reichsführer," proclaimed the soldier, "and has demanded I bring you at once." Himmler's eyebrow raised nearly off his head upon hearing those words drip from Ike's lips. "The Hauptsturmführer has demanded my presence?" The girl, a child of less than a score of years, writhed in his grip, trying to escape, but only succeeding in increasing the pain he caused her as she did. "This whore? She is a bit older than your own daughter was when we took her, yes? Perhaps you would like to save her from the fate of your own little bitch, Herr Grimm? To save this one, where you failed your own."